Welcome back, my dear friends. You know, they thought they had every angle covered, every variable accounted for, a flawless strategy, a script written with the precision of a clockmaker, every cog, every gear, turning exactly as they planned. A design so tight, so meticulously woven that deviation was an impossibility, or so they believed. But they forgot something, didn't they? The one thing that sends shivers down the spine of the self-proclaimed masterminds. The untraceable, the unpredictable, the move beyond time. You see, the greatest mistake of the arrogant is the belief that they understand all possible moves, that their board is finite, their calculations absolute. But what happens when the game itself ceases to follow their rules? What happens when a player refuses to be bound by their time, their cause and effect, their expectations? Oh, they don't know yet. They're still smiling, still toasting to their brilliance. But something's wrong, isn't it? The air is shifting, the shadows are whispering, and though they cannot yet see it, the first cracks are forming in their perfect plan. It started so simply. A whisper where there should have been silence. A ripple in still waters. Something moved, but they cannot see what. You made your move, but the beauty of it? They don't even know they're playing against you yet. That's the problem with people who think they control time. They assume it's linear, that every cause leads to an effect they can predict, that the pieces will move only when they permit them to. But what happens when you step outside of time? When you no longer follow their script, their chronology? Then the board isn't a board anymore, is it? Then the king and queen realize they were never the rulers of the game, merely another pair of pawns. It begins as discomfort, a pause in the conversation, a hesitation in their voices. See, they don't suspect anything at first. No, they're too sure of themselves, too lost in their own brilliance. But something doesn't sit right, and oh, how that eats at them. That gnawing feeling in the back of their minds. The pieces are all in place, so why does it feel like something is slipping? Like sand through their fingers, like the ghost of a whisper they can't quite grasp. It's beautiful, isn't it? Watching them second-guess themselves. The doubt creeps in, slow, insidious. And here's the fun part. They think it's their own minds playing tricks on them. They blame exhaustion, paranoia. They rationalize it away. But that's the thing about doubt. It doesn't go away. No, it grows. It festers. And all it takes is a little push, a missing file, a misplaced key, a forgotten conversation. Tiny things, harmless things. But the moment they notice, it's already too late. Because by the time they see the pattern, they won't be looking at a game board anymore. They'll be staring into the abyss of something they never accounted for. You. But they're still laughing, aren't they? Still congratulating themselves. Oh, they'll notice soon enough. But not now. No, let's allow them their victory lap. Let them drink. Let them celebrate. Because when the moment hits, when realization dawns, it won't be gentle. No, it will be a landslide, an avalanche. One moment, they are gods in their ivory towers, and the next, they're staring into the face of a player they never even knew was in the game. How do you outmaneuver something that doesn't move in straight lines? How do you anticipate a ghost? They built their plan like a machine, precise, calculated, flawless. But what happens when the machine encounters something it wasn't programmed to understand? Something that doesn't just disrupt the mechanics, but warps the very nature of the game itself, it's already happening. Look at them. The first sign, hesitation, a pause where there should be certainty. The second, doubt, glances exchanged, fingers tapping nervously on tabletops. And then, the third, the first crack in the mirror, a message they don't remember sending, a door left unlocked that should have been sealed, a conversation replayed in their heads, only to realize the details have changed. They thought they were the ones controlling reality, bending time to their will. But reality has begun to shift, and not in their favor. Oh, but the best part? They don't even know who to blame yet. Suspicion turns inward. They look at each other now, don't they? Accusations, however subtle, begin to surface. Who made the mistake? Who failed to follow the plan? See, they built a perfect machine. But machines don't feel. Machines don't break under pressure. People do. And now, the cracks are spreading. What happens when they stop trusting each other? When they start seeing shadows where there were none? When the paranoia sets in? Oh, now the real fun begins. But here's the real twist, the part that will unravel everything. They thought you were playing the same game, that you were moving within the boundaries they set. But you're not. No, no, no. You've been moving outside the board this entire time. You didn't just predict their moves, you made them irrelevant. Their plan, their perfect, well-oiled plan, it wasn't just doomed to fail. It was never even real to begin with. And they're about to find out just how deep that abyss goes. They built their plan inside time, inside structure. But your move exists beyond time, outside of structure, outside of them. And that is something they never saw coming. The perfect plan wasn't ruined. It was never perfect to begin with, because the moment you entered the equation, the game ceased to be theirs. Tick, tock. The clock moves forward, but not for you. For them, the countdown has begun, and they don't even know it. Not yet. But they will. Oh, they will. And when they do, well, that's when the real game begins. The moment of clarity is approaching. They don't know it yet, but the illusion they so proudly crafted is beginning to cave in. Their confidence, once as unshakable as stone, now trembles like glass in an earthquake. The plan they celebrated, the strategy they held sacred, it's shifting under their feet like a rug pulled in slow motion. And the best part? They can't even see who's pulling the strings. That's the beauty of a move beyond time. It doesn't strike, it seeps. It doesn't announce itself, it whispers. And before they even grasp what's happening, the world they controlled no longer belongs to them. A misplaced file here, a forgotten detail there. It started small, subtle enough to dismiss. But patterns are dangerous things when they work against you. At first, they tried to rationalize. Human error, minor slip-ups, nothing to be alarmed about. But reason crumbles in the face of something that refuses to be explained. When the unexplainable happens once, you call it a mistake. When it happens twice, you call it coincidence. But when the cracks spread faster than they can patch them, they stop calling it anything at all. Because putting a name to it makes it real. And if it's real, then their perfect plan was never perfect at all. They start retracing their steps, poring over the details like desperate men searching for a lost lifeline. But that's the problem, isn't it? The moment you start looking for the mistake, you've already admitted it exists. The moment you question the plan has already failed. And failure, Oh, that's a disease they were never prepared to face. The tension creeps in, coiling around their throats like an unseen noose. Their voices, once filled with certainty, now carry an edge of restraint. The way they glance at each other shifts, subtle but telling. Doubt has poisoned their foundation. And what happens when trust begins to wither? Then their perfect little machine starts tearing itself apart. There's something beautiful about watching arrogance turn into panic. The way their postures stiffen, the way their movements become just a little too sharp, a little too rehearsed. They're playing defense now, and nothing is more dangerous to a strategist than the realization that they were never the ones in control. The first real sign of desperation is denial. They assure themselves, convince each other that it's just stress, paranoia. They tell themselves that if they just tighten their grip, if they just realign their pieces, they can regain the upper hand. But how do you fight something you can't see? How do you counter a move that wasn't even made on their board? That's the horror creeping up their spines. The slow, dawning realization that whatever they are up against, it isn't following their rules. Then the paranoia sets in. The tension becomes a tangible force in the air, pressing down on them like the weight of an unseen presence. Conversations are measured, careful. Accusations are veiled, but the meaning is clear. Who is slipping? Who is the weak link? Oh, they don't trust each other anymore. And that's where the true collapse begins. The brilliance of an unseen enemy is that it forces them to look inward, to dissect their own ranks, to tear themselves apart in search of a traitor that doesn't exist. And in doing so, they destroy themselves far more effectively than any external force ever could. That's the beauty of a move beyond time. It doesn't need to strike. It simply lets them unravel. One of them breaks first. It always happens. A voice raised too high, a hand slammed on the table, a breath drawn too sharply. The tension boils over, and suddenly the air is thick with accusation. They snap, they lash out, because fear does not breed logic, it breeds chaos, and chaos is the end of control. But the real moment of collapse? It's coming. The moment where one of them finally says it, the unspoken truth that's been suffocating them all this time, that maybe, just maybe, this isn't a coincidence. Maybe they aren't just imagining things. Maybe the mistakes weren't mistakes at all. The second those words are uttered, the last remnants of control slip through their fingers like sand in the wind. They try to fight it, try to regain their grip, but the damage is done. You can't unsee the shadows once you've acknowledged them. You can't return to ignorance once you've accepted that something is watching from the dark. And now they are watching the darkness back. But it's too late, because the moment they turned their focus inward, the real game was already moving forward. They scramble for solutions, for countermeasures. But what do you do when the enemy doesn't move in ways you can predict? When the battle isn't happening where you thought it was? The realization is paralyzing. And fear is the final piece of their downfall. This is the moment where the laughter dies, where the smirks fade, where the pride turns to dread. Because they see it now. They see that the board they thought they were playing on no longer matters. They see that the game isn't about victory or defeat. It's about something far worse. It's about being made irrelevant. And That is the deepest cut of all. Their breathing is uneven now, sharp and unsteady like a violin string pulled too tight, one wrong movement away from snapping. The room that once held certainty now reeks of something else entirely. Doubt, fear, a festering unease that seeps into their bones like an infection. They sit across from each other, but they are not allies anymore. They are suspects in their own game, prisoners of their own design. And the worst part? They still don't know how it happened. The rules they lived by have betrayed them. The structure they relied on has turned against them. What once felt like an unshakable fortress is now a maze with shifting walls, and they are running out of time. Silence stretches between them, heavy and poisonous. Every glance is a calculation, every hesitation a liability. There is no trust left, only strategy. But strategy is worthless when the opponent is not bound by the same limitations. Every plan they attempt to form is like trying to catch smoke with bare hands. And the realization of that, oh, that's the true breaking point. One of them finally speaks. A single sentence, a whispered confession of the thought that's been gnawing at their minds like a rat in the walls. We were never in control. It lands like a gunshot, the words slicing through the fragile illusion they had been clinging to. Their eyes dart to each other, searching, grasping for something solid. But there is nothing left. Their carefully crafted hierarchy has collapsed into anarchy, and anarchy doesn't negotiate. It devours. Denial has abandoned them now. They know. They know that whatever force is playing this game is beyond their comprehension. It is not simply a rival. It is not an opposing player on the same board. No, this thing operates outside the very fabric of their understanding. And against that, there is no counterplay. The tension in the air is suffocating. Every sound, every movement is amplified, like the world has slowed down just to make them feel every excruciating second of their downfall. The weight of inevitability settles in their chests, a pressure so immense it threatens to crush whatever slivers of composure they have left. One of them reaches for a phone, desperate for some tether to the outside world, some anchor to reality. But as soon as the screen lights up, their hands freeze. A message, no sender, just a sentence staring back at them like an open wound. You were too late the moment you thought you were ahead. The device slips from their grasp, clattering onto the table. The sound echoes louder than it should, a final toll of a bell they didn't realize had been ringing all along. They don't speak. They don't need to. The truth is now undeniable. This was never their game. They were just pieces, moved at someone else's whim, dancing on strings they never saw. And now, the puppet master has no more use for them. A realization dawns, cold and cruel. The worst part is not losing. The worst part is knowing that they were never even contenders. That their so-called perfect plan was nothing more than a well-crafted illusion. A mirage built to keep them busy while the real work was being done elsewhere. They weren't outplayed. They were outmaneuvered before they even stepped onto the field. The walls feel closer now, the air thinner, as if the very space around them is rejecting their presence. Their own minds, once their greatest weapons, are now their prisons. Because once you glimpse the abyss, once you understand just how powerless you truly are, there is no escape from that knowledge. And then, the lights flicker. A brief pulse of darkness, a single heartbeat of nothingness, and when the glow returns, something has changed. The room feels colder, the shadows deeper, stretching unnaturally across the floor. No sound comes from outside. The world beyond this room might as well not exist anymore. A chair creaks as one of them shifts uncomfortably, but no one speaks. There is nothing left to say. Words won't save them. Logic won't piece them back together. They have stepped beyond the threshold of comprehension, and now they are at the mercy of whatever force has orchestrated this masterpiece of destruction. The silence now carries weight. It has become something more than an absence of sound. It is a presence, an entity that watches them crumble. And crumble they do. Their shoulders sag, their eyes dim. The fight has left them, bled out like a slow leak in a sinking ship. They are not who they were when they started this game. That version of them died long ago, the moment they mistook illusion for control. One by one, their gazes lower. Not in thought, not in strategy, in surrender. And that is checkmate. The final move was never about taking their pieces off the board. No, the true victory was making them realize they were never players to begin with. Game over. But what happens after checkmate? When the board is cleared, when the opponent has been silenced, when all that remains is the echo of their downfall. What happens then? But that's the most delicious part of all, because the game never truly ends. No, it only shifts, reshapes, takes a new form. And for them, the horror is just beginning. Because now, they don't even know if they are real at all. The weight of that realization crushes them harder than any loss ever could. They have been reduced to nothing, stripped of meaning, of purpose, of self. And in that empty void where certainty used to reside, only one question remains. If they were never in control, then who was?